Welcome to the Turning Lemons into Lemonade podcast. Each week, your host, Amy Mewborn, business strategist and advisor, will bring you the stories of how successful women entrepreneurs turn their tragedies into triumphs to create the businesses that are changing the world today. And now, your host, Amy Mewborn.
Welcome to our number one episode of Turning Lemons into Lemonade, a podcast for women entrepreneurs who want to see some of the struggles that other successful women entrepreneurs have gone through before they've gotten to where they are in their business. This idea came about because one day I was talking to one of my business girlfriends, and she'd had kind of a rough time. There were some things going on and her finances had changed. She had a fairly decent sized team, and she knew that she was going to probably need to lay some people off or do some restructuring. And as we were talking, she said to me, I really wish I could find something where I could just go and watch some inspirational videos or some inspirational stories from some of the most successful women that have gone through things like this. You know, one of the things that we often find as entrepreneurs is that we often feel really lonely. I don't know about you, but I work from home. This is my office. This is my real life. And as I'm recording this today, it's midday on a Monday. And, you know, things don't always go as we expect or we anticipate. So the idea for this particular podcast came from one of my personal lemons stories. So I want to tell you about it, and I want to kind of help you see how you can take something that feels really, really sucky in a moment in your business, and you can turn it into something awesome. So this came about because about 2 years ago, I was launching my membership site, and it's called Business Success Simplified. I think it's an awesome program. It's really inexpensive, and we offer a ton of different options for online trainings, launching courses, creating courses, doing your first webinars, a lot of these different things. And I had spent probably almost a year building all of this content. And I use Infusionsoft. I used Infusionsoft at this point now for probably, by then it was 6 years maybe. And we had probably about 150 campaigns in our Infusionsoft and about probably 7,000 people in our list. So when we went to launch this program, I had done everything the most extensively I had ever done in a launch. We had all kinds of Facebook ad retargeting. We had deadline funnels set up. We had all kinds of things going on. And so I was super proud of myself. This was by far the most effort I'd ever put in an online launch. Prior to that, I had really enjoyed doing things through Evergreen just because I didn't like the stress of an online launch and opening and closing cart. So one of my mentors, Todd Herman, once said that every time someone starts to buy from him, he goes and he picks up the phone and he calls them and thanks them. And he said it's a really good opportunity to also do some market research and find out why people kind of felt drawn to your product. So we went through all this nurture sequence. We had all these emails and probably 15 different types of freebies. And the day the cart opened, it opened early in the morning. And I went to the gym that morning and I was on the treadmill and I checked my phone. And as I checked my phone, I was so excited. We had our first purchase into this membership site. So mind you, I'm at the gym and I'm like, okay, I have to go call her. So I get off the treadmill, I leave my gym, I drive home to get into my computer, go into Infusionsoft and call this girl. So imagine my surprise when I log into Infusionsoft and she doesn't have any of the tags or any of the sequences started to give her access to the membership site. And so I'm getting ready to call this girl, but she hasn't even gotten her welcome email yet. And she should have quite a while prior to that. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? I don't understand what's happened here. I found that my VA that morning had been cleaning out campaigns. I had asked her to clean out campaigns. She had been with me and had been working in my Infusionsoft account for over 2 years by then, so she wasn't new. This was not one of those things that she didn't know what to do. But that morning, she went and clicked delete, and it asks, "Are you sure you want to delete all?" Yes. And she deleted 6 years worth of Infusionsoft campaigns in the middle of our biggest launch ever. So I immediately went into Facebook. First thing I did, turned off all of our ads because I didn't want to be running traffic to things that weren't working. And I tend to find that, I don't know about you, but I do best in the middle of a full-on crisis. If things aren't going kind of bad, it tends to really knock me down. But if things are just absolutely horrid, that's when I step up and figure out, okay, it's time to put on my big girl panties and we've got to figure this out. So literally, I probably sat there in my office for about 2 or 3 minutes and I cried. I'm like, okay, this is bad, but let's call Infusionsoft and let's see what we can do. So I call Infusionsoft and Infusionsoft says, well, we can restore your campaigns as of a few days ago. So obviously that wasn't going to give us everything that we had up until that morning, but it was going to at least get us in the ballpark. So they said, but the catch is that you have to go into all of those campaigns and click into every single timer and every single email and turn them from draft into a current active sequence. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So they came and restored our 6 years worth of Infusionsoft campaigns. Now, mind you, I told you that the reason that my assistant was deleting campaigns is because we had been cleaning up Infusionsoft. So we had gone and taken a whole bunch of campaigns and consolidated them and gone from about 150 campaigns to probably anywhere between 20 and 50. And honestly, at this point, I don't even know, because what ended up happening was Infusionsoft, when they restored the campaigns, they restored all 150 campaigns. So, mind you, again, here we are. We're in the middle of the biggest launch I've ever planned. We've just spent a boatload of money on ads. We've just sent people through probably a 5-day nurture sequence, and cart has opened, and all of a sudden, nothing works. So we had to send an email to everyone that had come into the campaign. I'm so sorry. Technology has gotten in the way. We have to shut down the launch. And then my assistant and I literally for 2 weeks spent all of our time going through and cleaning up every single campaign. So where this is kind of going is that ultimately what ended up happening is it caused me to take a step back and revisit my entire business model. I really kind of looked at each of my offerings, and it gave me the opportunity to go through every single funnel, clean out every funnel, to go and redo a whole bunch of our tags, which if you use Infusionsoft, you know that it's very, very tag driven, and that sometimes the tags kind of balloon out of control. It also really forced me to take a step back and identify how I wanted to move forward in my business. I told you that prior to that, I had never done a live launch where we had opened and closed cart. And I will tell you that in that moment, I made the decision that I probably won't be doing a lot of that going forward again. We have done a few since, but it is not my preferred way to do business. And what I decided at that moment was that I may be able to make more money when I'm opening and closing cart and really, really creating a scarcity and starting a program at a particular time. But I became an entrepreneur and I wanted to work from home, so I would create the quality of life that I really wanted to create. And opening and closing a cart just was not in alignment with how I wanted to run my business. It created too much stress, and that wasn't what I was thinking when I decided I was going to do this in the first place. So ultimately, my turning lemons into lemonade is that you can plan your business and you can think that everything's going to go this way. And I promise you, there are going to be things that are going to happen in your business and things that are going to happen in your day-to-day that are going to completely derail your business, your life, your emotions, your physical fitness, any number of things. One of the things that I have found that really does help keep me on track the most is that I need morning and nighttime routines. So for me, when I'm operating at my best, I get up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee, I have it in bed, I sit and I read, normally some inspirational or business book for anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes. My husband leaves for work, I've normally gotten ready for my day, and then I will go downstairs, I will sit on my sofa, and I'll do about 20 minutes of meditating. That has really helped me reduce stress when things don't go right. And then I normally come upstairs and get on my Pilates reformer, and we'll do about a half an hour on the Pilates reformer each day before I ever come in and sit at my desk and start my work. It really has helped me be more productive. It's helped me handle stress better. If I get my workout in first thing in the day, I notice that I'm way more diligent about doing that. Whereas if I decide that I'm going to do it later, I don't really give it kind of the attention that it really needs. So for you, I want you to take from this episode a few things. Number one, things aren't always going to go like you think they will, and that's okay. What you have to be prepared for is the fact that things aren't always going to go like you think they will, and you need to be able to pivot, and you need to be able to make decisions based on where you're going, not necessarily where you are. So when those lemons show up in your life, take a step back and identify, okay, now that this has happened, where do I really want to be? And when you identify where you really want to be, you can better make a decision about what you do next. So that's number one. Number two, when you're experiencing stress, it's really easy to just kind of want to hide in your bed or hide in your office or get behind your computer and just create content or hang out on social media or any number of things that really are not going to get you to where you want to go. So from there, when things happen, I want you to make sure that you have a morning routine. So at the end of this, in our show notes, you will get access to our 7-day productivity planner. And I will tell you that this Curate Your Life planner was designed because I would go and purchase all of these different planners, and nothing really ever did exactly what I wanted it to do. I wanted to track where I was in my physical fitness. I wanted to track whether or not I was setting aside the time for my mental health. I wanted to actually start every day with an abundance practice and a gratitude practice, things that I would get up in the morning and say in my journal what I was thankful for, in addition to actually planning out my business day. So if you are struggling in your business or you're struggling with what you're going to do next, I would encourage you to go and download that productivity planner. It's called your Curate Your Life Planner, and see if that might not help you. But however you move forward, make sure that you have a daily morning routine that kind of helps you get along where you want to go. And remember, this show is really meant for you to get some stories from all these amazing women entrepreneurs. And I want you to see that even the most successful ones have had their own fair share of struggles. And a lot of times when you're comparing your day-to-day life with someone else's social media, you're seeing the things that go the best in their life. So I want you to really use this time and use this podcast as an opportunity for you to see that you're not alone. I know sometimes it feels like you are, but you're not. We're all in this together, and we all get the opportunity to either go it alone and struggle, or maybe lift someone else up as we climb. So if you want to connect with me and there's anything that you feel like I may be able to do to help you on your journey, please contact me through my website. Also, if you want to be a guest on this show, or you have a story that you feel like would really inspire someone, please go to the website lemonadepodcast.com and apply to be on the show. I hope that you enjoy this. We're going to have new episodes come out every single week, and you can find us both on YouTube and on iTunes. And I hope that really this is a great experience for you. But I promise you, no matter what you feel in your business today, you aren't alone. And I hope that these stories inspire you as much as they've inspired me.
Thank you for listening to Turning Lemons into Lemonade, where women go for support and encouragement to hear how other women business owners turn their setbacks into successes to create 6- and 7-figure businesses. We look forward to seeing you next week.